yet. We haven't been on here that long, so like usual, we're gonna be doing a live, and yeah, guys, I've been meaning to do a live yesterday, but I would say like I've been really just figuring out what I want to do with this channel. So, guys, I just have a important message I wanted to get on here and just relay to all my TIs who are going through the same exact thing. And let me be very clear, it's not a fear-mongering message, it's not a message to complain, it's a message of motivation. It's a message of truth to basically remind you of what a lot of us forget. So, guys, make sure you tap that like button. Anybody watching on replay, and also, I just want to shout out again to anybody that got my message on TikTok. So, if you're one of those ones who received my message from TikTok, and you came over and subscribed to, you know, Loyal Link's YouTube channel, I just want to say hats off to you. I really appreciate the support. And like I said in the last live, if you haven't watched it, I'm just starting to see who really supports me, who the monitoring spirits are. Not that I didn't already know. I already know who, hasn't been genuine and who, has been sent in to, monitor me or just do, just be a weirdo. Let's call it what it is, man. Um, I'm sure they have their own perspective of what they're doing. These G stalkers, these fucking like cucks. That's what I call them, man. They're people with no lives that enjoy watching others, right? That's their life. Their whole life is watching your life. And then even if you're like me and you don't be doing shit, right? Like you sit in the house, you're isolated away from most of society because that's where the Most High God has me at the moment. Um, it just makes them sound and look even worse, right? So we're going to go into who these people actually are, and how I know this is just from my experience, how I've basically discerned a lot of these weirdos, right? Going through my G stalking and the organized harassment I faced all over the community, starting in Massachusetts. So that's where my gang stalking started happening. If you're not familiar, I want to do a whole live video where I talk about it. Basically, it's going to be a long video, obviously, right? But I want to basically talk about where my gang stalking started, and basically like how it got started, and basically like what led up to it. And we'll save that for another live. But basically, I just want to let you guys know, if you're going through this shit, these people are the fakest people on planet Earth. I just want to let you know that if you're a TI, aka a targeted individual, and you're being targeted by secret societies, gang stalking, all this other shit, right? These people are the absolute fakest people I have ever seen in my life. The way they mirror you, the way they like they're just a part of this hive mind, right? They're just a part of this collective that they do not know how to be themselves, right? So number one, these people they're not original. They copy everybody in their little cult, everybody in their little like group or fucking whatever they're in their group chat, right? Because we all know they like to sit in their group chat and talk about us and shit, which again is weird again. But these people are just I wanted to get you guys to understand or just remind you, because a lot of you guys forget, right? A lot of us forget, myself included. So we usually forget how miserable and fake these people are who do this shit, right? You got to be a really miserable people to basically go around and stalk others, right? To want to stalk other people and hack their phone and watch them and claim like you're trying to protect the community, right? Because that's what they claim, man. These people are so delusional, right? They get manipulated and tricked into causing organized crime, right? Because that's what it is. It's organized crime. I don't care how you want to tell everyone else, but if you go around the community stalking other people, that's organized crime and that's a felony, right? So just like it says in scripture, everything done in the dark will be brought out to the light, guys. So I'm just on here to basically, give you guys some motivation, man, and just remind you that never fear these people, man, right? Never fear someone who hides, basically throws stones and hides their hands, right? Like these people operate in groups because they're cowards, right? And they come and they troll and they make fake accounts and they come and you know what I'm saying? They do all this shit because deep down they know they're cowards. And you should never fear anybody like that. So if you're a TI and you're going through the same exact thing, not just me, but thousands of people are going through all over the world, right? And it's getting exposed. More famous people are talking about it, right? That scientist was talking about directed energy weapons and all this shit. So like I've always said, guys, once the first domino falls, several famous people have mentioned it. Candace Owens, just a lot of there's some famous people that actually go through this shit, right? All it takes is somebody with a little bit of money, right? So they want to hire a bunch of people, revenge for hire on the dark web, who fuck with you and work mob you, show up at your work to harass you and shit. It can be many different things, but what I figured out, right, is it's the occult. That's what I figured out in my own targeting. Who I'm being targeted by has usually been Freemasons, secret societies, and people that are connected to, witchcraft, witches, fraternities and shit, right? So these are all like the weirdos in these little groups that take part in this, guys. And I don't know, I just felt compelled to come on here and tell you guys how fake these people are. Like and I'm gonna give you a few situations, right? Like I was in the Kava bar basically not too long ago, right? And they were doing like their little street theater thing, right? Like sitting beside me, talking about my life, and like thinking it's funny and shit. But honestly, these people are strangers. I've never talked to them before in my life, but they just come around me and they think that talking about my life out loud is gonna upset me. But what I'm really doing is looking at them like they're fans. I'm like, bro, who are you? Like, why are you talking about what I did yesterday and talking about my favorite drink and all this other shit? Like, it's fucking honestly, it's weird at first. And like, when this is happening to you, you're like, yo, what the fuck? Like, who even are you? But eventually you go through it for a couple of years, and if you don't know what street theater is, I suppose you look into it. I'm pretty sure you guys know what it is if you're targeting individuals, right? But basically, it's when people get hired to come around you, and usually how they get this information, right? Like where they were getting it from is my roommate. So my roommate was telling these people in their cult, in their secret society. So this person was just telling people like what I was doing, like, and all it would take is just seeing what I'm drinking in the house or something. It was so obvious, and then paying people to come up to me and basically say it out loud and shit, right? So it's so stupid, right? But you just end up starting to feel bad for these people. You feel bad for the people that make fake accounts and feel like they want to come, you know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. And these people, like I said, are the fakest people in the world, right? So this is what happened, right? So this chick, right? And this is like a very miserable, like downright, like she was definitely on substances too. I just want to throw that out there. They use a lot of people in the community that struggle with addiction, and that's how they get them into, organized harassment. Like they'll approach these people and they'll say, yo, can you keep an eye on this person? Or yo, they're not going to say stalk, but that's basically what the person's doing. They're going to be like, yo, can you keep an eye on this person? We're worried about them. We think they're dangerous, right? Yeah, yo, just me, just me, Lee. Hey, just ignore them. You know who they are. I know who they are. I'm not gonna. They're just helping to boost my algorithm. So the reason why I didn't respond to WTAPL is because number one, they're a gang stalker, right? So they're either a gang stalker, a part of the people that I'm exposing, right? So most likely they're just a part of the problem and they're just desperate for my attention. So they're usually just desperate for my attention and desperate for my energy, guys. And let me just say, I'm one of those ones, bro. I usually make content on TikTok And like you guys will start to see how desperate they are. Like you'll see the confirmation. Let me just say that you're gonna see I'm exactly who I say I am because these fucking idiots are gonna come in my chat and they're gonna show you. You know, anybody with discernment, you'll be able to see because you're gonna see people on fake accounts coming to troll me, which it's really not troll. They're trying to yeah, so you know what's up, just me, Lee. Watching from a rehab facility. Bro, that's what's up, man. I hope you get clean, bro. I hope you know, I used to struggle with substances too, so there's absolutely no kind of judgment when I say shit. But when I point out that most of these gang stalkers and these people that take part in organized harassment, they use addicts because addicts are very vulnerable, right? So they get an addict to do these crimes. So they come up to them and they either yo, this shit goes deep, guys. Like this corruption, the whole gang stalking, fucking the whole gang stalking conspiracy theory, which isn't a conspiracy theory, it's happening to thousands of us, right? The doxing, the mocking, the you know, the street theater, all this shit is going on, and it happens usually to whistleblowers, right? So there's been many cases all over the internet, right? The eBay case, for example, where a whistleblower who worked for eBay blew the whistle on corruption, and eBay hired a bunch of people in the community to stalk this person. Oh, Jeffrey Epstein was another one. So, Jeffrey Epstein, what he would do to his victims, right, is he would pay a bunch of people, including. So, this shit, you can find this shit. Anybody that says gang stalking doesn't go on, you're either a part of it, right? So you're either it's beneficial for you to say it doesn't exist and to call me crazy than to actually do your research. So it's either one, either you're benefiting from it, which a lot of people are. Thousands of people that are taking part in this, right? And they smear campaign on me and I have no clue. Yeah, man. So I go through smear campaigns every single day, including with my content. So a lot of them pretend to be TIs. What I dealt with on TikTok, because I'm a normal content creator on TikTok, right? I caught basically, I didn't call them out or anything, but I blocked them on TikTok. So I've caught a bunch of fake TIs that were basically being used to target me. So I blocked them, right? Did I see the comment above? I'll read that, bro. I'm just I'm trying to get the message out and stuff like that, but I appreciate you being here, guys. Make sure you tap that like button. You might invite me to the cookout. I don't want to come to your cookout. No offense. I don't really. I'm just being honest, guys. I don't want to hang out with nobody. I don't want nothing to do with anybody. I'm very, 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 very passionate about that right now. Like, I don't want anything to do with no female. I don't want anything to do with friends because every time I give somebody a chance, they show me exactly why I shouldn't have, right? And a lot of females get sent in my life as honeypots. So I'm definitely not gonna trust a fucking I don't know what kind of profile that is. You know, it looks like a fake profile, a brat style profile. Yeah, definitely not gonna trust that. So yeah, guys, this stuff is happening all over. Like I was just mentioning the eBay case. So the eBay case was basically where the person was a whistleblower. But all this stuff is out there, guys. All this stuff is easily found. Just don't type in gang stalking, right? Because gang stalking has a bad, even though all gang stalking is a group of people in a gang that decide to stalk somebody else. So have you ever heard of 10 people stalking one person? Yeah, it's a lot more common than you think. That's gang stalking, right? And usually these groups are used for revenge for hire. So I talk about this and I expose it a lot on YouTube. Not YouTube, I'm sorry, TikTok. And I just recently I'm making the transition from TikTok over here. And guys, like I'm really pumped up, man. I'm really excited because I got that feeling of starting from scratch. You know, I can't really like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like starting from scratch. Nobody knows who I am on here, so it's like it's less stressful and it's more exciting. It's like starting something new again, like that feeling I got when I first started on TikTok and then I got 6,000 followers and then they got that profile banned by mass reporting me. So that's something they're able to do on TikTok. So if you want to go and you want to speak about your experience. If you're getting gang stalked, if you're, if you're a targeted individual, just be very careful on TikTok because they are able to mass report you. And it's much harder to do on YouTube. So I've never had a problem on YouTube talking about my experiences. Um, Bro, nobody can get me. I don't know who you are, just me. I'm just seeing you in my comments for the first time, but nobody's going to get me to do anything. I don't know who. I don't know if that's V2K telling you that or whatever else, but just let me put that out there, guys. I stay to myself. I barely leave the house. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family. I'm in Massachusetts right now, and yeah, guys, I don't fuck with nobody. I don't fuck with nobody, and I don't got nothing to prove either. So if there ever comes a point in my life where you point your finger at me and you accuse me of something, I'll have no parts. Like, get away from me. I'm like, I've been through too much shit in my life, right? And if you know anything about me, right, then you know I've been the shit I've overcame, right, in my life. I've I've reached a point, and I mean spiritually, right? Like my relationship with the Most High, where I just don't feel the need to explain myself to people anymore. I'm no longer seeking validation. I'm no longer seeking anything from anybody. I just have a very peaceful acceptance, right? And what I try to do, because it not only helps me, but it's helping others, is I get on here and I share my testimony about my life and about being a TI, right? But I share it in a way that's going to be uplifting to you guys. I want you to understand, just like I do, that you hold all the power here. If this is a power structure, right, between our G stalkers, between these secret societies, these cults, these witches, you and me, we hold the power because everything is built around us, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then just keep scrolling and you're not going to understand this video. Everything they do is built around your life. The real life Truman Show. Not as deep as that, not as severe as that, but a very minor extent of that. People around the city know my name. I don't even know who they are. I walk around, people give me nasty looks. They don't even know who I am. They give me dirty looks. They laugh at me. They mock me and shit, right? And then in the past, when I used to bring it up and I wanted people to, hear my story and say, bro, like this shit is really going on. Every time I tried to explain it, they would gaslight me. They would tell me I'm crazy, or just like that person came in the comments and tried to say, right? And those are all tactics by abusers and by narcissists and by psychopaths that try to silence me, right? Because listen, guys, I could put my hand on the Bible when I say this. This is how sure I am of what I'm talking about. They really do not want me to start from scratch on YouTube and go as hard as I did on TikTok. No, sorry. Let me rephrase that. Damn, bro. I don't know how they don't want me to go as hard as I did on TikTok on here. Because they know when I get worked up, like in a good way though. Like when I mean worked up, I mean passionate, like, going hard, posting every day, like I did on TikTok for over almost 2 years, right? And between both of my profiles, I had over 10,000 followers, right? And it's just that, do I do testimonials? Yeah, I have quite a few testimonies on my YouTube right now, but I'm just starting from scratch. What I've been doing is I've been posting YouTube shorts, but those videos are from my TikTok. So there's 4 videos I recently just posted within the last 2 or 3 days, and they're really good shorts, right? So what you guys can expect, if you're subscribing and if you're a targeted individual, a chosen one, and you want to support me and basically just show love, which I would to you. I make sure every time I come across another TI, and I know they're legit, right? And I can feel it in my spirit. I have discernment. So I have a lot of spiritual abilities and I'm connected to the Most High. So nobody can manipulate me. Nobody can cast illusions. I can see who's who, right? I can see who flipped. I can see, like, I see all this shit, right? And I have pattern recognition that, like, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain unless you have it. I have metacognition, so I'm able to think about things with an open mind, right? I can think about my own thought process. So if you don't know what metacognition is being able to think about your own thought process, right? This is how, like, when someone tells me I'm tripping or when someone tells me I'm bugging, I laugh because not only am I sure, it's because I'm my own devil's advocate, if that makes any sense. I've already thought about the whole situation from every single lens, right? I've already thought about it from, could I be wrong? Oh, could I be mistaken? Like, I've already done that before I speak about it, right? So, guys, I just wanted to tell you that the people that do this, right? Number one, they're not that bright. They're not the smartest people around. I'm going to be honest. I'm not shitting on them, but if you get manipulated into stalking another innocent person by being told whatever you were told, right? And I'm sure they get told pretty crazy things, right? Guys, there's like a lot of videos going around of these fake cops or fake agents, right? Fake ICE employees or fake FBI agents, and they knock on doors and they try to like accuse you of posting something on social media, right? But something that you notice is none of them show their badge. None of them are actually legit law enforcement. So, what I figured today is, bro, this is exactly what the gang stalkers do. This is exactly what these secret societies do when they try to recruit guys. I don't know if you're familiar with community watch. So when they try to form these community watch groups, if they weren't already there, usually they utilize them, right? So like the narcissistic handler who's attached to some sort of secret society in a way, right? Or just has connections to them. Um, they use these community watch groups. And a lot of them are fucking sick old weirdos, right? With a lot of money and a lot of connections. And they're just weird cucks. Guys, I get followed around by old people, like old weirdos, and it doesn't bother me anymore because I just look at them as fans, you know? Like I look at these people as sick, deranged fans who are just, I don't know, who are just infatuated and obsessed with me and my life. And that's how you got to look at it because it's the truth. She gets so many fakes. Be nice to let them hear your true story. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm interested in doing. I don't know. I gotta really like think about something. I gotta prepare and stuff. Like when I do these lives, what I just start doing is, I like having something I'm gonna talk about before I come on here. But I don't usually do scripts. I like speaking from, from my heart. Yeah, guys. So these people are the fakest people ever. Fake. Like I could give you so many situations and experiences that just prove what I'm trying to tell you guys. One of them is the way they copy us. So the way these gang stalkers copy you, like look, here's the thing. You're in an environment, right? So I'm just gonna give you what happened recently, guys. I don't give a fuck. Like I don't listen, man. I don't fear nobody, especially nobody at the kava bar I used to go to. So when they watch this video, I'm pretty sure you already know, but I'm talking to everybody at the kava bar I used to visit, right? All of you, for the most part, are cowards, right? Because here's what they would do. They would, number one, they would take part in my targeting. So everyone at the kava bar, for the most part, not every single person, but they were a part of a secret society. They were a part of a cult fraternity. I don't know what cult and what secret society, but they were all into witchcraft. They were all into you know, geometry, astrology. They'd have books about astrology. They'd all study all these weird things and do all these weird drawings. They would have these kind of like event nights at the kava bar, which basically just looked like a ritual, right? Like a whole bunch of crazy shit I got to witness by just going to that kava bar, and I learned a lot, right? So I would go there, I would be social like once in a while, and the same people that were obsessed with me, right? Like this one chick, right? Like she looked like she was just, oh, she looked bad. She looked really bad, like really miserable. And every time I showed up at the kava bar, she showed up. Like it was so obvious, right? Like every single time I show up, she shows up not a minute later, not a minute sooner. That's stalking. I don't care how you want to look at it, maybe one time, two times is a coincidence, three times is a pattern, and then any more times after that, like if I would leave, she would leave, right? So these people were being used to stalk me, right? They were getting paid. And I know they were getting paid because number one, they were desperate. They were down and out, right? They had no jobs, no way to get their money. So what they were doing, they were getting paid to stalk me. And this chick would copy me, right? So one of the things I said was, my favorite rapper is some other chick, right? And yo, this is so funny, right? So anytime like other girls were talking to me, she would come over and like do some insecure shit and try to like sit like it like she would come up and be like, "Oh, hey Lenny." Like, "Oh, now you saying hi to me now that this girl's talking to me?" Like it was so obvious like that this chick was like ugly and insecure, but then again, she was struggling with substances too. So she was taking this payout clearly. I've realized, like I put together, she was getting paid so she can buy her substances and whatever, but she was getting paid by I'm not gonna go into who, but I know who, right? The secret society, this cult, in order to stalk me, right? And then she would copy me. So one of the things she said was, "Oh, I love," like I said my favorite rapper was this guy named Rio, right? So this guy named Rio from Detroit. I said that, and definitely no one in that kava bar. They're all fucking like they're all like suburban rich kids, or like they had like like they wouldn't know who that rapper is, right? So, anyways, she copies me or something, right? Like she says a day or two later, she's like, "Oh, I love Rio," and I'm just like looking at her like, "Shut the fuck up." No, you don't. Like, right? So this is what I mean when I say these are the fakest people ever. Like they'll listen, they'll claim they hate us, but they'll copy our entire personality. They'll copy your hobbies, they'll mirror you, right? And they try to do it to get closer to you, right? And like they get so upset and they get offended when we reject them, right? Because I've rejected many of them, but like a whole bunch of them that have just come around and they try to be my friend. And the reason why I reject them is because number one, they're not being themselves. So I already like can see that they're fake. They're wearing a mask. They're lying about who they are. And it's like I don't accept anyone around me like that. And number two is they're being used. They're getting paid to do shit to me. So they're getting paid to mock me, to be mean to me. Why would I allow someone around me that's a snake, right? So if you're a snake and you'll take money to do weird shit to people, yeah, you're not trustworthy. You're not a trustworthy person. You're actually like a scumbag, like the lowest of the low. I've never taken money. I would never do that. I'd rather die. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it just shows some of us or most of us TIs, we have character. We have something inside of us that most people don't. And they hate us for that, right? They watch you in your home and shit. Yeah, man, fuck it. There's something you got to know, man. There's no such thing as privacy. There's none. My phone's definitely hacked. 100% it's cloned, right? And I figured out like some sort of technology they have. I don't know if it's Pegasus, right? It's definitely similar to the Pegasus malware. Like I've reset my phone. No matter what you do, once it gets on your phone, you're done, right? So like everything you do on your phone, these people are going to be able to see it in real time, right? So if they pick up their phone while I'm on my phone, right? So that's why it's good to watch out to see who's on their phone when you're on your phone, right? You might be able to see something, right? But usually, right, it's some fucking weirdo in your life that you were friends with, right? It could be a family member, a friend, or it could be some stranger that you don't even know that just decided to put you on this list. And I believe from what I've seen that it's a large network all over the not only in the United States, but all over the world, a large network, and it's the occult. That's what it is. It's an evil, demonic network. It's evil. There's no way you could say that what these people do is good. And usually they're all pedophiles. They're all people like, yo, like I found out that the people that target us, right? Like the people that follow us around town, like if you found out their real name and you looked up their name, you would find out some crazy shit. Like you would find out they're on the registry. So the same people that they pay to follow you around, and you got to think this shit is trafficking. This shit, and yo, my gang stalkers have literally told me on TikTok live that I'm being sold on the dark web. Like obviously it's a lie. Like what they were saying, they're like, "Oh, we control you and we control you and you don't do and you do whatever we say." I said, "No, if you're fucking delusional." So that's how I knew how delusional they were. And then they said that they sell videos of me and pictures of me on the dark web. And like all I said was, "Okay, well, where's my money then? Don't you owe me some money?" And they were just laughing. They were like, ha 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 in the comments and shit. Clearly, obviously, on a fake profile. Guys, I will never take a fake profile serious because you're already showing me you're scared. You're already showing me you're fake. I made a video about this too, guys. If you come around me and you're insulting me or disrespecting me or mocking me, like indirectly, like you're not being direct. You're doing it like you're talking to your friend, but you're really talking about. I don't respect that. I'm just gonna think you're a bitch. And this is what these people do. I don't care if it's 10 people in the room. If they do that, I'm just gonna be like, damn, I'm in a clown room. I'm around 10 people that are scared, right? Because number one, how do you have 10 people, but you're scared to say something to me, to one guy, right? So, and this is what they do. They form groups. They form these little groups and these little secret societies and cults, all to try to take down you, all to try to humble you, right? And you just be the one person in there minding your business, right? What it really is, and this is what it really is. If no one's told you yet, I'm gonna tell you right now. So if you're a TI and nobody's told you this, you're gonna hear it from me. You're gonna hear it from Lenny on YouTube now. It's spiritual warfare. It's all spiritual. The whole thing. They know who you are in the spirit. And 10 times out of 10, if you're being stalked, if you're being organized stalked, if you're being trafficked, if you're being attacked, if you're being work mobbed, if you have multiple smear campaigns being ran on you, it's because you outrank them in the spiritual realm. Why do you think they go recruit a whole army to go up against us? That's not normal. If you weren't shit, right? If you were really weak and you weren't really a threat, like they try to convince you, right? They try to convince us that we're losers. They try to convince us we're crazy, all because we can see them, all because we see who they really are, all because all that bullshit that they do on everybody else that works, it don't work on us, right? And this is what gets them triggered. It upsets them, right? Because they can't manipulate me. They can't cast illusions, right? And everything they believe in is a contradiction to my nature. So they believe in manipulation, deception, all this shit, and they just don't have any principles. They don't have any self-respect. They don't have integrity. They definitely don't have integrity, right? If you're paying people to attack another person that is your family member or your friend or you're taking part in that, yeah, bro, you're just the lowest of the low. You don't have any integrity. You don't have any respect. You're not a good person, right? So anybody that takes part in this, they take part in it because they're fake, insecure, jealous, and yeah, man, they're just very weak, sensitive people. And like if you like I notice about every single one of them, they all have the same low vibrational characteristics. They were connected earpieces. That's how they're told what to say. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that, bro. I see a lot of them with headphones on, right? You know what? I see a lot of them with the headphones that like the big earmuff headphones. I see a lot of occultists with that. Guys, my pattern recognition is through the roof. So I see a lot of people in their occult and gang stalkers that wear their hat backwards. So they wear their hat backwards, and not only that, I'm gonna give you guys the sauce right now. Ready? I'm gonna make another short about this. But if you see a content creator stick their tongue out to the left. So if they stick their tongue out this way, I'm not going to do it, but if they stick their tongue out to the left really fast, they're an occultist. They're a part of the occult. They're a part of a secret society. And what that tongue represents is it's satanic and it's the all mocking tongue. So they're mocking you for watching them. They're mocking you for you supporting them. So if your favorite content creator sticks their tongue out to the left, and celebrities do this all the time, they're mocking us. They're basically laughing at us because they sold us out, right? They sold all of us out and they would do it again. So they would sell out your life. They would sacrifice you on the spot just to get them a couple dollars. And you worship them and you watch their videos. You support them, right? You noticed that a few months ago? That's good, man. That means you have discernment. So a lot of us with discernment and pattern recognition, I've noticed this for, I would say, a couple years now. The all mocking tongue is something you need to look out for. And these gang stalkers, they do it, right? They stick their tongue out to the left. And that has there's actual history to that, to the all mocking tongue. And they all do it. And then another thing I've noticed is they wear their hat backwards. So they wear their hat backwards. They wear shades, right? They wear like these shades with their hoodie pulled up. If they're stalking you and shit, they're trying to be like undercover and shit, right? But then again, guys, just use your discernment because not everybody with their hat backwards is a part of the occult. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying notice a pattern, right? Like if I see three people that I know are, gang stalkers and I know are occultists and they all wear their hat backwards or they all stick their tongue out to the left, that's going to tell me it's going to confirm it. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to motivate you guys by telling you never fear, never sweat somebody that doesn't even know how to be themselves, right? Yeah, they could have that shit too, but I don't want none of us to worry about that. Don't ever worry about being recorded because we're not doing anything. You know, they should be worried about being recorded because they're committing crimes. And God knows what they're doing on the dark web, right? These people are seriously disgusting. They do very disgusting, evil things, like Epstein things, and they should be worried about being recorded. I'm not worried about it. I sit in my house. I don't do nothing, right? For the most part, I don't do nothing to be, you know, investigated or reported, like it's wild, guys. So the fakest people are your gang stalkers. The people taking part in harassing you and forming groups to smear your name, right? Like what they do is they launch smear campaigns about me every week with something new. They're just praying something sticks. So they launch a new smear campaign every week. And they're just saying, oh, I really hope this one sticks. I really hope this one doesn't get exposed, right? And they start to pay people. Like I just told somebody that today in the comments. I said, listen, these people, yeah, it could be everybody in the room could be saying a lie about you because they got paid, they got compensated, right? If you pay everybody in the room $100 to repeat a lie about a person, you're going to be more incentivized to lie about the person, right? And now someone that hates you, someone that's a narcissist, a psychopath, that's trying to destroy you and your reputation, they do shit like this. They live for this, right? And it happens a lot more than you think, guys. I got a video or a short I posted on here where I talk about gatekeepers, right? Gatekeepers are literally narcissistic handlers, and they're in every single level of society, every single level of government, every single level of corporation. They're at a McDonald's job, the manager that decides if you level up or if you don't, right? They do humiliation rituals. Guys, there's just so many things going on. If you have spiritual eyes to see, you'll know exactly what it is. But if you don't, you're going to be lost in the great deception. So if you have spiritual eyes to see, then you'll know that there are gatekeepers everywhere that decide who gets to level up, who doesn't, and they only decide that by doing humiliation rituals on the people, by making them go do something for them, right? It can look very innocent and it can look very simple, but this is how secret societies operate too. There's been many 33rd degree Masons and many just secret society people that have come out and exposed this, that have literally said this is true and this is what literally happens, right? So, and if you've heard a lot of like the 33rd degree Freemasons testimonies, they've even said it's satanic, that nobody in the Freemasons knows that they worship Satan. They don't even find out the truth until they hit the 33rd degree, right? And if you look back in history, right, with Albert Pike, the first Freemason, if you've looked into the shit, he was a Satanist. So all these big time Freemasons that founded the country and helped basically built this corrupt ass country, they were Satanists. And they used all this shit from the church. They used religion, they used indoctrination. You know, when the Rockefellers completely took over and they changed the school system in the 1960s, they completely rewrote the school educational system. They completely rewrote the hospitals. They took off all, natural remedies and natural cures. And not just that, you know what else they came out with in 1962 or 1963? It's one of those, right? They came out with mental hygiene. This is going to get good, guys. It's going to get good because mental illness was originally called mental hygiene. And guess who it was started by? The Rockefellers. Yeah. Want to know why? Because there's no actual proof. You could just look at 20 people and they've done studies about this and you can say they're schizophrenic. There's no way for you to prove that. There's absolutely no proof that chemical imbalances are real. It's all assumptions. It's all opinion based, right? And they did a test about this by sending 50 people, 50 normal people into a mental asylum. And those 50 normal people came out all with mental health illnesses. They came out with schizophrenia. They came out with bipolar. They came out with anxiety, depression. And they were just 50 normal people, average citizens. And they walked in and checked themselves in as a test to see what the doctors would do. And they diagnosed every single one of them. Want to know why? Because the doctors are just guessing. They're looking at your symptoms. So if you go in there saying, oh, I'm feeling hyper, I can't sit down, guess what they're going to say? You have ADHD. If you go in there describing anything they have in their handbook, they'll slap you with that mental health illness. They don't do no kind of blood test. They don't do no kind of brain check because it's impossible, right? So if you know the history of psychiatry, there's a reason why some of us don't identify with that, or we don't make that our whole personality, right? Like most these NPCs out here, they've made psychiatry their whole personality, right? And this is why they want to become psychiatrists, right? These occultists, so the occult and witches and warlocks, they use psychology as a weapon, right? And they use mental health illnesses as a weapon because either one, they know where it comes from. So they know it comes from the Rockefellers and it's meant to be used as a weapon to discredit whistleblowers and to discredit people who can see, right? So anybody with spiritual eyes, this is what the Rockefellers had planned. And how do I know that? Well, I know that because the speech that was dubbed a conspiracy by, that was written in the 1880s by John D. Rockefeller said this in his speech, that they would use this mental health to literally call everyone who could see the truth crazy. And that's happened all throughout history. Either that or they got killed right before they got deemed crazy. So they would get deemed a schizophrenic nut job and then they get killed. So and this shit is happening all over. It's not just happening in Hollywood. It's not just happening on the news. It's not just happening. It's happening all over for content creators as well. You don't think that they're able to see our potential? especially because a lot of them are in communications with demonic entities. So a lot of them, that the people that study witchcraft and are really deep into the dark arts and they're in these secret societies, do you think they can't look at one of us and know right off the bat, like, yo, that person's dangerous to us? Just like the demon knew who Jesus was, they know who we are. They say, damn, if we take our foot off this one's neck, if you take your foot off the lion's neck, that's what they tell themselves. It's all over for us. That's why they start on us early on. So they target us just like the MK Ultra in the Gateway program. They started testing us in school because they wanted to see who was gifted. They wanted to see what kids had spiritual gifts. So I was one of those kids that was tested as well. I remember the headphones, the little weird puzzles that they did, right? I believe I was tested like 2 or 3 times. I remember multiple tests, right? So all these things were leading up to this. What's happening right now, the gang stalking, being targeted by secret societies that a lot of us are out here going through, it's all been leading up to this. We've all been literally, when the Most High God activated us, we became a direct threat to the kingdom of darkness, to Satan himself, and to all these demons and all this demonic, the whole, basically, the people that are running this world right now. The satanic Jeffrey Epstein's at the top. This world is run by satanic pedophiles. That's why all these rich psychopathic CEOs, that usually if you're a CEO, you're a psychopath or a narcissist, right? That's why they protect their own. And that's why they put these programs in place like gang stalking to attack anybody that is not of them. That's not them. So anybody that doesn't do what they do, they attack. They put all their money, they put all their resources in hiring, and it's spiritual too. So anybody who can expose them, anybody that can see them, if that has discernment and has spiritual eyes to see, yeah, those are going to be who the people at the top send money down the ladder to suppressing. I've said it before, guys. A lot of people don't want to hear it, but the system's rigged. The world's always been rigged. If you're a TI, you're blacklisted from getting a job. I'm blacklisted. These people, every time I go to an interview and I go in there, I literally watch them come in and start talking to the person in the interview. Like my last job interview. My last job interview, a fucking weird old dude came in, and even the manager was giving me faces like, yo, what the fuck? Like, he even thought the guy was weird, right? And I knew that was someone that was stalking me because I used to always see him in Publix, right? So I seen him 3 or 4 times in Publix following me around and shit. So I knew he was someone that was stalking me, right? And then he happens to show up at my job interview, and then goes over and like shakes the manager's hand and gives him a hug and shit. And then I knew as soon as I left, the guy started smearing me, making up lies and shit, right? So this is what they do. They're that desperate. They're that desperate, that insecure. These aren't signs of strong people. That's why I had to make that video. I had to put that video out, the short I posted yesterday, saying if you have to sabotage somebody to keep your power, to maintain the power that you have, let's say you're a millionaire, you're a CEO, whatever. I don't care if you're a small time manager. If you have to use your money, your connections, and your resources to attack, slander, smear, sabotage another person because you're intimidated of their potential, you're not as powerful as you think you are. You're actually weak. And that's a sign of weakness. And that's what narcissists and these people do. It happens so much, it's so frequent. They decide who goes up and who goes down. That's what. So if you determine your success off of society standards, you will, number one, you'll lose every time. You'll feel like a loser, and you'll feel like shit. Because the same people that are determining, like, if you get a job, if you get connected, oh, if this person helps you, if this corporation helps you, if these people allow you to go up, if they allow you to go down, the same people doing that are the same people targeting you. The same people that got a target on your back, right? Because they were paid. And they were paid by secret societies, Freemasons, cults, covens that are all connected, that all share resources. So if one of them targets you, usually they all target you. And they all share information in their little fucking network, on their Discord, on their group chats, they have like group chats with like 50,000 or 100,000 of them in there. They come around me all the time to talk about their group chats. Oh, did you see what they said about him in the group chat? You know? And I'm just laughing. I'm like, bro, so you got a group chat about me, talking about me? You're a fan. You know? A lot of these people worship us, and it's absolutely insane. They literally pray about us. They take our name to the altar that they have, and they do all this weird, obsessive, like crazy shit. And they go around slandering you. And this is what happens, right? Some of our energy is so potent that these people, by going around talking about us every day, by going around like trying to leech off of our energy, they become addicted. So they become obsessed and they become addicted. And now they think they know us. So they start to develop parasocial relationships, which happens to me a lot on social media. On TikTok, though, not on YouTube, right? And they develop these parasocial relationships, and they start to think that they really know you, which is crazy because they've never met you before, other than them stalking you, right? Do you think some of the people that say they're being targeted are actually being paid to present? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I think 99.9% of the people that message me, right, that message me continuously, right? Like they message me vigorously, like constant, like blowing me up. Like not just one message, not just maybe two messages, but they're desperately trying to get my attention. Those are the people that are a part of my targeting or paid and sent in as honeypots. Every female that hit me up in the past couple weeks, I've had to cut off, right? Or I've had to separate because I noticed occultic shit. I noticed they were lying, right? They study me, right? And they do this to all of us. So they studied me and they figured out what they believe I wanted to hear, right? So and like everything they did, it didn't work because they were wrong. So they thought by love bombing me, that would work. But in order for that to work, I'd have to be a egotistical narcissist. You know what I'm saying? So that didn't work because I immediately see what they're doing and I don't have an ego, or my emotions are regulated. Like my mind is in check. So when someone is love bombing me and just excessively complimenting me, my intelligence, and excessively saying I look good and I sound good and oh I'm so in love with you, all this other shit, I'm like, no, you're not. You know? And it gets very weird. It gets crazy. But this is also a sign that you're highly anointed. Like I've said this before, guys, not to brag. It's gonna sound like I'm bragging. Probably people are gonna think I'm bragging. But yo, I'm a chosen one, believe it or not. And who I am in the spirit, these people that target us are willing to flip other TIs when it comes to me. They're willing to like stop targeting another person as long as they can get access to me and attack me just to cause me a minor inconvenience. These people are willing to risk their lives to cause me any type of pain, any type of stress, and that's how you know they're mentally sick. They're mentally unwell. All right, guys. So I'm gonna leave this live chat up. I've enjoyed myself. I've enjoyed coming on here. Shout out to Just Me Lee. It's been real, man. I appreciate you coming and commenting and hitting that like button. Hold on. Let me read your comment. I've had to come to terms that I'd be alone, no friends, no family for the rest of my life. Don't accept that, man. Don't accept that. If that's where you are right now, if the Most High God has you in that place right now, that's cool. But don't accept that, man. I'm not accepting that. I still put myself out there. If I see someone I want to talk to, I put myself out there. But if I don't see anybody I don't want to talk to, then I don't. If I have discernment. So usually I know how things are going to play out, or the Most High says, yo, leave that person alone. But don't settle for less. Don't lower your standards. Don't do that. Don't dim your lights and allow people to do fake weird shit, right? Like I used to do that. I used to allow my friends to just throw shade and, just do a whole bunch of fake toxic shit just because I had love for them, just because they were my boys, just because it was my homegirl. I used to allow them to get away with, just being fake. So now I don't allow none of that. I have standards. I love myself enough to make the right decision when it comes to who I allow around me and who I don't. All right, guys? But we're at 55 minutes right now. I've really enjoyed this live, guys. So anybody that's going to watch on replay, make sure you hit that like button. And I'll say what the message is one more time. I know we kind of went, all over the place. These people are the fakest people ever. So if you're being G-stalked, if you're being targeted, just know the people targeting you are absolutely fake. They're insecure. They're jealous and they're copying you. They're copying you. So they think that by copying you, they can increase their life status, right? Like they think by copying you, they're going to go places in life. That tells you everything you need to know. They think by copying how you dress, what you watch, they think by studying you and copying what you do, they're going to get more money. People are going to like them more. So that tells you everything you need to know. And just also know it's never going to work because what do I always say? They can copy me all they want, but they can't beat, they can't be a better me than me. They can't beat the original, baby. Right? I love you guys. It's your boy Loyal Link Lenny. Guys, go check out my videos. Go check out my shorts. Those are what I'm going to be posting. 2 more later on today. Everybody that joined and commented, shout out to you. And hey, even shout out to the gang stalkers that commented. Something they don't realize, and the reason why I ignore them, because every time they come on my video, number one, it boosts my engagement, so it helps me. So by them commenting, YouTube is basically, it's telling YouTube that, oh, this person's getting comments. This person's getting, people want to watch him. So the reason why I'll never respond to them and I'll never say anything because I want them to keep commenting. I want them to keep talking shit because no matter what they're saying, YouTube doesn't, you know, it doesn't differentiate. It basically just says, oh, okay, someone's commenting. Someone likes Lenny's content. So, guys, that's the last thing I'll say. I love you guys. It's your boy, Loyal Link Lenny. Thank you for joining this live. And make sure you share this with whoever you can. All right? Peace.